Yeah, hi. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. So, you could say this is considered a sort of not really part two, but really basically more of basically just I don't know, just more about basically the recent video I made about how Cobra Kai rules, how it's the best show currently, but this video is solely about how Cobra Kai is better than pro wrestling currently, or modern pro wrestling. And that is definitely the case. Cobra Kai is basically what pro wrestling is supposed to be. And people say, oh, but Cobra Kai is a TV show. Exactly, because pro wrestling is a TV show. Do you guys not realize that professional wrestling is supposed to be basically a live theater show that's presented on television? It's not supposed to be a fucking sport and being a fucking sport. It's supposed to be a fucking TV show. Okay? Yes, fucking, they fucking slam on the ring real and all that shit. But ever heard of fucking choreography? Like, that's how fucking professional wrestling's supposed to be. Wrestling's not supposed to be a fucking sport and trying to be fucking having long matches or trying to be like a legit sports fan where they're trying to be competitive and shit. No, you're supposed to tell a story. You're supposed to have characters, storylines, build up. You're supposed to actually be entertaining for fuck's sakes. Okay? You're not supposed to be like a fucking goddamn boring ass fucking show. And for people who want to see only wrestling, and they think wrestling should be just about wrestling, when reality, wrestling has always been about characters and storylines, and that's when the wrestling matches matter. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because look at Cobra Kai. Imagine if Cobra Kai was just about karate. Every fucking thing that happens is karate and no characters and no freaking no build up to the fights. It just non-stop fight scenes. That would not make this show would not be as popular as it used to as it is. You wonder why the show is popular? Because there's stories involved, there's characters that you know and give a fuck about. You like likable characters that you actually give a fuck to hate. You actually care, okay? This show gives you a reason to care about things. There's stakes involved, you know what I mean? Good build up, and also freaking the fight scenes are actually exciting, and also freaking the karate matches are exciting, when they did the karate matches when they had the All Valley tournament. That's basically what because like the All Valley tournament is basically like the fucking pay-per-views, what they're supposed to be. Equivalent to WWE supposed to have pay-per-views or the WrestleMania and whatever. And the fight scenes are basically like what's supposed to be like Raw or SmackDown kind of deal, but like they develop them. That's how freaking fucking these. That's how action TV shows supposed to be. Freaking wrestling is basically an action TV show, but it's failing as that because now it's trying to be fucking like a sport now because of these fucking smarks. Because unfortunately, wrestling nowadays they're trying to appeal to smarks. And you know what? It not only is the fucking wrestling fans' fault, these smarks that are at fault. It's also freaking WWE and even AEW and just pro wrestling in general. All these people are listening to these fans. And again, you can't hate on WWE when really a lot of these fans been freaking crapping WWE, and when they're literally trying to give them what they want, they still crap on them. You know what I mean? Because they're giving them long matches. Literally, if you see Monday Night Raw, they're giving these people long matches, like long enough matches, and you guys still don't care. And again, I don't blame you, but the reality is you guys want that shit, but you guys still hate it. I don't know. And for people to say that, AEW is good because it has long-term booking, that's bullshit. There hasn't been long-term booking in wrestling for a long fucking time, okay? That's bullshit with this whole Kenny Omega Hangman Page bullshit that people say, it's long-term booking, when in reality, that match was supposed to happen at the All Out show, but then it got moved to Full Gear. It was just incidental, really. You know what I mean? And again, like long-term booking has been like, if you want to talk about long-term booking, look at Undertaker versus Kane. Look at freaking Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage. Like freaking, what else? Freaking, even like Edge versus Orton or whatever. You know, Edge versus Seth Rollins. Um, Even Bryan versus Kane. Okay, that's more long-term booking. Especially what's long-term booking with Sting versus Sting versus fucking Sting versus Hulk Hogan. Okay, those are examples of long-term booking. This AEW's long-term booking is not fucking long-term booking. Okay, and it's just an excuse to make people pretend like, this is why AEW's better. When in reality, AEW's literally the same shit as WWE, but more indie garbage. Okay. And that's also what you get at AEW. AEW, you get literally non-stop fucking bullshit ass matches with no stories and characters. You barely get in the story, and it just literally just freaking. It's basically just a fight scene after fight scene after fight scene, or pro wrestling. Same thing with TV shows now, and that's also a problem with nowadays. Like, for example, like action TV shows. I mean, there's nothing really I can also say. Like for example, Power Rangers nowadays. Power Rangers not just be about fight scenes. It used to be about characters and stories as well. Power Rangers, if you look at it, for example, it's literally like freaking to say like, well, what basically wrestling is basically equivalent to Power Rangers Megaforce. If you've seen Power Rangers Megaforce, Power Rangers Megaforce was basically just non-stop fight scenes, lack of characters and storylines. And stakes involved. When it's just fight scenes, do you really care about the fight scenes when really there's no characters? And also there's no build up, no story or whatever. But also that's also the same thing with Power Rangers, like especially in the current season from what I saw. Like, that's the thing. A lot of these shows nowadays, it's just like not a lot of these shows nowadays in general, just boring fucking storytelling with it, or just boring fucking characters and shit. Just stupid things happen. People like this show called Euphoria or whatever the fuck that show is. With Zendaya, they only give a fuck about that show because it's like a lesbian show. That's for fuck's sakes. And Squid Game. Oh, it's a Squid Game. They're gaming with squids. Who gives a fuck? Fuck Squid Game. Okay, Cobra Kai is better than Squid Game. Okay, and stop pretending to fucking like a TV show because it's different. It's a different culture, guys. Culture. Trying to fucking appear to be different. And when you guys don't even... Oh, I watched the show without subtitles. You're fucking dumb, okay? Or you watch it without the translations. Shut the fuck up, seriously. But yeah. That's why Cobra Kai is better than pro wrestling, because it's basically a TV show done right, okay? Like, pro wrestling is supposed to be like a live television show, live theater, and yet it's failing as that. It's not entertaining at all, okay? It's literally a lame-ass fucking Broadway show where they do stupid, lame fight scenes for literally no reason, and it's just really, the characters are fucking, there's no heart and soul to these people. Wrestling, again, like, wrestling is not supposed to be like high art, but for God's sakes, it would kill to actually freaking, I don't know, try to actually know how to act and shit like that. Or actually put some effort to what you do. Or put some effort to actually having character, please. I mean, I understand nowadays, like, the problem with also wrestling is there's no larger life characters. There's no people who actually look like and act like wrestlers. And they're all fucking, vanilla midgets. They're all indie fucks. And they have the indie mentality, which is a fucking problem. We need people who actually can, not only look the part, act the part, and also fucking be badass, okay? We need, like, guys like Johnny fucking Lawrence, for God's sakes, to be a badass. And not fucking some stupid gay SJW bullshit. Straight the fuck up, okay? And that's a lot of shit's going on in fucking goddamn wrestling. Alright? But yeah, so basically, take notes, because basically, professional wrestling should need to learn how to be like Cobra Kai, because Cobra Kai is fucking badass, okay? Wrestling used to be badass. Now it's fucking shit, okay? It really is fucking shit. And also, like Cobra Kai, if anything, is also empowering to women, right? Because not only you got cute chicks on the show, but you're actually having them, but it's empowering. Isn't that? It's more empowering than freaking goddamn women's wrestling, for God's sakes. And also, you know what else also really empowering? If, again, like, fucking you peel the fucking goddamn women's wrestling, too, for God's sakes. Just actually be like how you used to be back then with women's wrestling, too. Fuck. Stop with this forced cuckery, freaking women's bullshit, women's revolution, this feminazi crap, because that doesn't help with wrestling anymore, too. It doesn't help their, like, really, seriously. Stop with them main eventing and opening the shows. Straight up. Alright, that's why Cobra Kai is better than wrestling. Not only that Cobra Kai is the greatest TV show currently, it's freaking better than pro wrestling, and pro wrestling needs to learn how to be just like Cobra Kai, or I don't know, just basically a TV show in general. How about just fucking focus on being a good TV show, for fuck's sakes? Because that's what professional wrestling is supposed to be. When you're on television, you're supposed to be a good TV show, not fucking some pretend to be sports shit. Okay? Because when you fail at freaking being a fucking terrible show, that's how you're gonna lose your rights on television. That's how freaking you get like an afterthought. That's when it leads to you not that no one gives a shit about your fucking show. Okay, and that's why you lose your viewership, and that's how literally eventually you will lose your TV rights. Just simple. Okay, be a good show, and I don't know, you will get good viewership again, and that goes for both WWE and AEW, not just one show. Okay, that goes even entirely wrestling. It's some fucking terrible bullshit. Like, really, AEW, this new fucking company for 2-3 years, and it still is just the same crap as WWE, but more indie and gayer. Yeah. Fuck wrestling nowadays. Cobra Kai never fucking dies. Cobra Kai fucking rules. Alright? Till next time. Peace. Yeah, bye.